Let us battle and stand together. So join the ongoing fight against Parkinson's. Let's prevent it or even stop it. Parkinson's, goodbye and ciao. Let's prevent it or even stop it. Parkinson's, goodbye and ciao.
I speak today heralding from Gadigal and Darug country, lands of the Eora Nation, where stories, healing and knowledge have flowed for more than 65,000 years. Sovereignty was never ceded. This always was and always will be Aboriginal land. As our global Parkinson's community prepares to gather in Phoenix, we also honour the first peoples of that place, the Hohokam, who carved life from desert through vast canals, and the Jula River, Salt River, Pima, Maricopa, and Fort McDowell Yavapai nations, whose cultures continue to shape the region today. Two distant places, both held by ancient custodians. Two landscapes, shaped by ingenuity, resilience, and deep relationship with land and water. Wherever you're listening or watching from, let this be a gentle call to action. Learn the stories beneath your feet, support Indigenous-led work, and carry respect for First Peoples in every space where science, community, and care come together. May the wisdom of these lands guide us as one global community.
Hi, it's Danny, and welcome back to the Dopamine Diaries. Today was day 3, the final day of the World Parkinson's 2026 Congress. This morning, I finalised the vlogs of the interviews and left them uploading while I went on a final jog to explore my surroundings. When I arrived at the WPC, I met up with George Ackerman, someone who I've been meaning to meet up with the whole time. He's a huge advocate and fan of mine. George Ackerman is the advocate for Together for Sharon, an organisation advocating in memory of his mother, Sharon. He gifted me with a hug. He also gifted me with a special pin to wear. And he gave me a copy of his new children's book, which he's written with his daughter, which is pretty special because no one else has given one. And he wanted to hand it to me personally because it costs too much to send stuff from the US to Australia, as we all know. Then I was off to the plenary hall for lectures in Parkinson's and exercise. And of course, Jimmy Choi was amazing in his speech. He spent the first 8 years of his diagnosis as a fat, non-active person. He would willingly admit that himself. Then he had a total change of attitude. He got rid of his cane. He got rid of his fat. He changed his exercise routine by actually having an exercise routine. And as someone who has had Parkinson's for 18 years, he is an inspiration, not only to me, but to everyone who is part of the Parkinson's community. And even those that aren't might have heard of the Parkinson's Ninja. Next, I collected my lunch and I ate it while listening to the panel on PD and women in the exhibition hall. But I had to leave that talk a little bit early because I had been invited to recite some of my poems. And as another impromptu gesture, I was asked to join the kazoo playing, which I never played a kazoo before, which made it hilarious. And we actually played in Canon Row, Row, Row Your Boat. And Michelle was filming and laughing at me. And Christopher Lyon was also equally laughing at me from another place in the audience. So it was very hard to know where to look when I was playing my kazoo because every time I laughed, I couldn't play it. Afterwards, I did recite my 2 poems, got a very good lot of feedback from the audience. And later on, a couple of people approached me and said that they really enjoyed my poetry and got a lot from it, including Christopher Lyon, who has requested that I send him 2 or 3 of my poems for the quiver. Then I returned to the exhibition hall for the comedian Sean from the podcast Movers and Shakers. Now, Sean's quite an oldish UK git, if I could put that in a nice way. He's a UK guy. He's a comedian, quite well known, and he had the audience in stitches because him having Parkinson's and his wife being deaf is quite a combination, and creates a lot of very funny stories, of misunderstandings and frustration. Then I checked my emails. I was delighted when I found an email from the WPC inviting me to have another massage. And of course, I accepted and said yes, I'd love to come, and booked in. Afterwards, because the air conditioning is so fiercely cold in the convention centre, I went out onto the terrace to warm up. The final panel discussion I went to with Christine was represented by 7 or 8 different countries, and it was all about the value in having a multidisciplinary approach to healthcare, and the value of that in each of their countries, and each country's approach and success or not success in doing that yet. But that's the direction that we're heading. So as Christine and I walked around together for the last couple hours of the WPC, it was amazing how many people she knew, and she was amazed at how many people I knew that she didn't know, and together we pretty much knew everyone. So congratulations to Christine for being a great advocate and representative and ambassador for Australia, and congratulations to me for following in her footsteps and being able to establish a network beyond Australia in a global community of people with the same vision and the same mission to find a cure for Parkinson's. So we then went to the finale, or the final message. We were offered nibbles and drinks, and we took those into the plenary hall where a new president was announced, and we exited to drums amplifying the song "You Are Not Alone." Quite an emotional message, really, but the volunteers made it fun because they formed a guard of honour, clapping and cheering all the participants on, who were all exiting with smiles and happiness. And it was made even more memorable because Christine's husband was Parky, the raccoon mascot, as we exited. So he was the secret guy inside the mascot suit. So that's no longer a secret. Sorry, Christine. So definitely the most doped up on life global community ever that I've ever known, and the most doped up community event I've ever attended was the Parkinson's World Congress in Phoenix, Arizona this year. Words can't actually capture the vibe nor the impact it's had on me or all the other participants who attended. So now I look forward to what's possible before the next Congress in 2029 in Quebec City in Canada. What I'll be doing, and will I attend? I've got 3 years to think about it. In the meantime, the successes of my next 3 months will determine the finalization of my uni degree and provide me with ample time to reflect on what I've learned, congratulate myself on what I've done, and to realize that I've had such an awesome experience here and fully participated as much as I could in all the programs. So until next time, stay safe, be well, exercise like Jimmy tells us to, and hold your head high as you remain resilient and hopeful in your achievement of everything you set out to do in your life, just like I'm going to do. Definitely, we are not alone. We are a community of strength and a community of love. I'm Danny, signing off from the Dopamine Diaries for now at the Parkinson's Congress in Phoenix, Arizona for 2026, the 7th Congress that's been held globally. See ya!